Hey guys, so as the year is wrapping up, I wanted to take a look at something that I do quite frequently throughout the year. It's a way for me to interact with my audience when I'm too lazy to edit and post a video. I post a lot of stuff on my community tab, be it polls or just images with questions, just to have some engagement with the audience to let you guys know that I'm still alive. So what I wanted to do is basically go through all of my polls and things on my community tab and answer the questions that I've posed to you guys so that you guys see where I'm coming from and what my opinion is on a lot of the things that I post. So yeah, it's just a simple end of the year video where I'm going to go through and do that. So from the beginning, it looks like what I posted was pick one from each row and the rest are deleted forever. So it's a bunch of classic movies, superhero movies it looks like. From like the early or mid 2000s, before like the MCU and DCEU were a thing, cinematic universes were a whole thing. Actually no, it has the Justice League in here. Okay. Oh, it's just, never mind. It's all movies that people thought were shit. Okay, so one from each row and the rest are deleted forever. I actually like X-Men Origins Wolverine, so I'll pick that one. Spider-Man 3 isn't as bad as people say. Blade was actually good too, but I'd take Spider-Man 3 over it. Out of these, I think Ghost Rider was cool. Like, I think it did a lot of interesting things with CGI that other movies didn't do. But I don't know. I think Fantastic Four was like pretty close to what a comic book movie should be in terms of the costumes and like not taking itself too seriously. Ang Lee's Hulk was also fun, but I don't think it's that good, and Green Lantern was just shit. So I guess I give it to Fantastic Four. In this row, damn, Spawn, easily. Everything else is shit. Yeah, Spawn easily. Okay. Next poll. Best 2022 comic book movie. Yeah, it was easily the Batman. I agree with the poll, or I agree with the audience consensus. I would go Batman. Yeah, it's actually pretty close to being in order. Batman, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Multiverse of Madness, and then Black Adam in that order. Pick one from each row and the rest are deleted. Let me expand it just in case there's some I'm not seeing. Another one of these. I don't think I do these as much anymore because that requires more effort for you guys to like type out each one that you want. Oh man. Oh, Smallville easily. It was debating between Arrow and Flash, but no, Smallville. Out of these, I think the Sandman did some really cool stuff. So Sandman. Man, these are all shit. Fuck. In this third row, they're all so fucking terrible. I guess Constantine. Last row, Superman and Lois. They were all so fucking shit, though. Okay, is the MCU dead? Yes, no. I disagree. I think it isn't dead. I just think it's going through a metamorphosis where it's becoming something different than it was. But I don't think it's officially dead. Because, I mean, you had Guardians of the Galaxy 3 come in 2023, and that did phenomenal. So, it's definitely very much alive. Did Joel make the right choice in The Last of Us Part 1? Absolutely, I think he did. It was an emotional choice, but it was the right choice. The Fireflies didn't really have a logical plan when it came to trying to create a vaccine for the virus. Is the Avatar franchise any good outside of visual effects? No, absolutely not. It isn't. And that, you know it's true because that Avatar game just came out and no one fucking spoke about it. Like, to the point where you wouldn't even know it happened. Just no one gave a fuck. Like, no one's talking about it, period. Yeah, no, it's just a pretty film. Every time an Avatar movie comes out, it's just graphically and visually stunning, and then 5 seconds later no one gives a fuck about it. So yeah, it's genuinely a hilariously shit franchise. Who has the most annoying family? Out of these adult animation television shows. So it's Stan from American Dad, Peter from Family Guy, Bob from Bob's Burgers, or Homer from The Simpsons. Yeah, I would say Peter. For sure. I think it's kind of tough sometimes because all of these people are supposed to be terrible. Like, there's no objectively good person except for Meg, maybe. So it's kind of tough to like gauge it on like, okay, are they actually bad characters? Because Bob, they're not all supposed to be terrible. It's supposed to be like an actual family, but they're all so shit to him. But in Family Guy, they're just all so terrible. It's kind of hard to ignore that, like, get past the fact that it's all played for jokes. What is the correct Spider-Man web hand pose? Thumb out, thumb on finger. So a lot of people do the thumb on finger, and I think that's because there's an expectation that you are pressing down into your palm to activate the web coming out. But yeah, I agree. Thumb out, I think, is the correct one. And I think that's the one we see most often with the thumb out. And I think it's because this is pressing down on something else in his, the palm of his suit to engage the web shooter. Best Spider-Man romance. Gwen Stacy, Mary Jane, Silk, or Black Cat. So this is tough. Like, what has been the best historically? I would say Mary Jane, because they have the most stories together. What I think is the most interesting narratively is Black Cat, because I think it feeds into that kind of Batman and Catwoman dynamic of, you know, goody two shoes and you know, the kind of anti-hero. So that's the one I prefer, but I think I do agree. I think Mary Jane is probably the best narratively. How many holes does a straw have? 1 hole or 2 holes? It's definitely 1 hole. I don't know why people think it's 2 holes, because the length of the hole doesn't change how many holes that there are, and it's that simple. Think about a piece of paper, right? If I have a piece of paper and I use a hole punch and I punch a hole in it, you'll say I have 1 hole in that piece of paper. If I make that piece of paper 5 times as thick, it doesn't become a 2nd hole all of a sudden. It's 1 hole all the way through. But I understand why people think it's 2 separate holes. But no, it's 1 continuous hole. It's just a long cylinder. Which communities are most annoying? K-pop fans, anime fans, Redditors, or TikTok? Most people said TikTok. I think TikTok is so varied that it's not as annoying as anime. like TikTok, you have like people who are on there just watching woodworking videos, and that's all they follow, just some old guy doing woodworking or some shit like that, or like car videos where, you know, they follow some guy building a car. Reddit, you know, there's like r/moms or something where it's like, how do you breastfeed a 6-month-old or some shit like that. But between K-pop and anime, it's just fucking insufferable people. Like, yeah, you have some people who are just like casual fans, but I wouldn't even qualify them as actual anime fans. It's just people who watch anime. Just like if someone went to go watch Avengers, but they don't really follow the MCU, and they're like, oh, I like that. They're not like an MCU fan. They're someone who went to go watch it. Like, I don't consider myself a fan of anime. I just watch some of them sometimes. When you consider yourself an anime fan, you're fucking annoying 99% of the time. So I would say it's anime fans. Which Overwatch competitors do you want back? I don't know why I said competitors, like you can pick more than one in this poll. I think I agreed with this one, Lawbreakers, only because I thought it had a really interesting concept. But Cliff Bleszinski was such a fucking idiot with marketing it, that it just never panned out. But yeah, I think I agree. I would have loved to see Lawbreakers. Battleborn was also really good. I never really played Paladins to have a actual opinion on it. Pick 3 games, the others get to leave forever. So they're all visible here. Budokai Tenkaichi 3. Probably Tony Hawk's Underground 2. Oh, fuck. Wait, no, this is actually hard. Shit. Some of these are formative. Okay, some of these are formative, and other ones I have grown to appreciate over the years. So let's look at who's definitely getting out. Time Splitters is out. MK Armageddon is out. Final Fantasy X is out. Dragon Quest, was that 8 is out? Whatever the fuck, is it Brick House Wrestling? I don't even know what that says. That's out. I mean, Def Jam is out. I don't know why it took so long to eliminate that. So that leaves Metal Gear Solid 2, SmackDown vs. Raw, Marvel vs. Capcom, Tony Hawk's Underground, Budokai Tenkaichi San Andreas. Okay, you know what? SmackDown vs. Raw I enjoyed because it was something I played in my youth, but it's out because it hasn't caused the industry to move forward in any way. Like, wrestling games are infinitely worse now than they were in the past. So that's out. Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Shit. It's gonna come down to Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and Tony Hawk's Underground 2. I would say the skate games have kind of fallen off, but fighting games are still really relevant. I think that still leaves me with fucking 3 games. Why is this one taking me so long? Arena fighters are so shit though, but Budokai Tenkaichi is so... Fuck. Alright, I think... Alright, I have to go San Andreas, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and Metal Gear Solid 2. I'm not happy with that. But it is what it is. What do you put on first when you come out of the shower? Shirt, top, socks, underwear. If you put on socks, you're insane. If you put on shirt, top, please comment down below that you put on shirt, top. I'll be sending the feds to your house. It's absolutely underwear. I don't even know what this fucking question is. What will be Game of the Year? So we know it actually won, funnily enough, at the Game Awards, and none of these were it. But everyone said Tears of the Kingdom, and I thought it was going to be Tears of the Kingdom. So I agreed with this poll. I knew it wasn't going to be Spider-Man 2. I thought it was going to be Tears of the Kingdom. Starfield, before it came out, I still didn't have that much faith in Starfield before it came out. I'm not saying I think it's a bad game. I enjoy the game, personally. But I understand what it is. Biggest flop of 2023. So worse games have come out since then. So Redfall, Forspoken, Dead Island 2, or Atomic Heart. I think I agreed for Redfall because it was just so unstable. But I mean, we've had like shit like the Golem game and that King Kong game and the day before shit like that come out. So like none of these would even make the list of potential worst games of the year for so long. Should Link talk? Damn near 50-50 split on this. Yes, he's been silent too long. No, mute Link for the win. I think he should absolutely speak. I think the game is far too cinematic now for Link not to speak. I've spoken to Sal O'Don about this right here on a podcast situation, and I think that the way Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are just the creative decisions behind them, I think he should speak. I don't think he should speak often. Like, I don't think he should just be a fucking motor-mouth Deadpool character all of a sudden. But I do think he should have a couple of voice lines here and there. It's very awkward for him not to speak at this point. Pick one from each row. I'm hoping that this is the full image. I doubt it's much larger than that. So I'll just expand it. I mean, what's not? If it is, it is. If it isn't, it isn't. What can you do? Okay, that was before. Okay. So of these 3 or 4, forgive me. I don't know. I feel like Guardians Volume 1 had something special. So Guardians 1, out of these pieces of shit. Oh, is this just James Gunn, Zack Snyder, and the Russo brothers? Oh, fuck! All of this is garbage. Shit, Man of Steel. And then this one, oh, that's a toss-up. It's between Civil War and Infinity War. I'll give it to Infinity War. Edges it up. Alright, best classic fighting game. And when I say classic, I meant like I think you get what I mean by classic. Don't be a fucking idiot. You get what I mean by classic. Tekken, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat. I think it's Street Fighter. I think Mortal Kombat has had a lot of stinkers here and there, and I think Tekken is Tekken. There you go. That's my answer. Is Miles Morales Spider-Man? Yes, absolutely, definitely, of course. So this one was just to poke fun of people who think Miles Morales is not Spider-Man. I'm gonna make a whole separate video about why he's Spider-Man, of course. Because it's such a dumbass argument to say that no, he's not Spider-Man. He is. Multiple characters historically have passed down their mantles from one hero to another, or have shared a mantle with another hero. This one was just a Black Spider-Man. Wow, the first one is symbiote Peter Parker, and the second one was just Miles Morales. That's not even a real question. Sometimes I don't know what I'm doing. One has to go. I guess I was looking at food for some reason this day. Absolutely shrimp. Shrimp are the bugs of the sea. Yeah, not even a question. Which Spider-Man is the strongest? I agree. Tobey Maguire. I think he is the strongest. I think someone did the maths and said that Tom Holland stopping the ferry actually would have required more strength numerically, but I don't give a fuck because I don't believe it. I'm choosing to ignore the science. Who's the smartest Spider-Man? So yeah, because of Tobey, I think Tom might actually be the smartest. Tobey was intelligent, but I think Tom actually had to utilize his intelligence more than Tobey did. Best Skyrim faction. Companions, College of Winterhold, Dark Brotherhood, the Thieves Guild. So I love playing as a mage in these kind of fantasy setting role-playing games. So I'm a bit biased because the College of Winterhold is what I choose every single time. But objectively, the College of Winterhold is a really shit faction compared to the other factions. I think the Thieves Guild is pretty boring too. I think the Companions is the most interesting, and I feel like the Dark Brotherhood's pretty cool. So based on like their effect on the region, I think the Dark Brotherhood is probably the best one. But the Companions, I think, is the strongest narratively. Best Fallout faction. Brotherhood of Steel, Caesar's Legion, the NCR, the Minutemen, and there are other ones. There's the Railroad, there's the Institute. I don't think I made a separate post for those. I drew in the Minutemen in Fallout 4. I'm still playing through New Vegas, but the NCR is who I'm with. I think the NCR. I pick the NCR out of all these guys. Games that deserve a second chance with the sequel. Absolutely Days Gone. I would give all of these games except for Play Avengers another chance. I think they all had good bones. I think Play Avengers, they just didn't know what to do with it. I think Anthem just didn't have the backing behind it to be successful, and the development team. Avengers, they just didn't know what the fuck to do. Forspoken, I think it's really good, has a lot of really awesome concepts, and if they buttoned up a couple of things, I think they could make a go of it. And Days Gone, I just love. I think it's my favorite zombie game of all time. Let's channel giveaway about giving away a copy of fucking Starfield or Spider-Man 2, but then that was free. Starfield was on Game Pass. Saddest video game death. Lee, The Walking Dead. Arthur Morgan, Red Dead Redemption 2. Maria, Gears of War 2. Sarah, The Last of Us. Lee is really high up there, but I also think Maria was very, very sad. If you play Gears of War 2, you know what I'm talking about. You didn't even have to play Gears of War 1 to see how sad Maria was in Gears of War 2. So I think I give it to. But you play as Lee for so long, and you might have to have Clementine kill you. That's a tough one. I think Maria and Lee's a very close second. Best comic book director, part 1. Raimi, Snyder, Nolan, and the Russos. I'm trying to think. Oh, Raimi. Yeah, Raimi. I was trying to think because Raimi had 3 really solid. Well, he had 4 altogether, but 3 really solid ones in the beginning, and then he had Multiverse of Madness. And then Spider-Man 3 is objectively, like, so, you know, some people say it's bad. So then if you knock it down, he's 50%, right? Because Multiverse of Madness has some issues. Russo's, all of theirs were really good, and it's kind of hard to argue that. Like, Winter Soldier, Infinity War, Endgame, like, that's 3 for 3. I mean, just statistically, they're doing better. Okay, wait, let's look at Nolan. I mean, he's 2 for 3. Begins, Dark Knight, and Dark Knight Rises was, yeah. Zack Snyder, 0 for 0 for every single fucking attempt he's ever made in his fucking life. So fuck that guy. Yeah, I think just numerically the Russos take it. And then best comic book director 2, Gunn, Favreau, Whedon, Wan. So people didn't know what Wan made. Wan made Aquaman, the first one. I think he made the second one too. Whedon did Avengers and Avengers Age of Ultron. And he finished Justice League. Favreau did Iron Man. And Gunn did the Guardians film and the Suicide Squad. I think Gunn has a stronger body of work, so I give it to Gunn. Most annoying gaming community: Souls fans, shooter fans, Nintendo fans, sports fans. Souls fans are the most insufferable for their elitism, but actual annoying overall, definitely shooter fans. Because they only play shooters and they complain when the shooter they don't like is currently boring them, that the entire gaming industry is dead. Which makes them infinitely more sufferable. All they play is Call of Duty. When the Call of Duty they are waiting for comes out that year and it's not good, all of a sudden all of gaming is dead. Like, COD comes out this year, shit, all of a sudden Star Wars Jedi Survivor, fucking Baldur's Gate 3, Alan Wake 2, Spider-Man 2, Starfield, it just didn't exist. All of a sudden gaming's dead. What happened to gaming? So yeah, shooter fans do the most annoying. Which is coming out first? GTA 6, Elder Scrolls 6, Bloodborne 2, or Half-Life 3? Definitely GTA 6. We're never seeing these two, and this is coming out in the year 2055. So good luck with that. What is my channel sign off? Everybody knows that. 2% have it wrong. I don't know who the fuck these idiots are. Just like, yeah, have a good one. That's what you say every time. I've watched your videos. Have a good one. Who makes more confusing stories? I'm gonna fucking butcher his name. Hidetaka Miyazaki, Tetsuya Nomura, or Hideo Kojima? Fuck. I don't know. I think Kojima. I think Miyazaki's are just more convoluted to discover, but it's pretty straightforward once you like get the pieces all together. I think Hideo Kojima has full animated cutscenes for the length of an entire playthrough, and you still don't know what the fuck is going on. Like Metal Gear Solid, like the entire 100 hours you play, just full of cutscenes back to back of people talking to each other and describing shit, and you're like, I don't know what you're talking about. So I think it's a bit more confusing. Most overrated game: The Last of Us, Skyrim, The Witcher 3, or GTA 5. I'll be honest, it's The Witcher 3. The Last of Us is good, and it's praised for how good it is. A lot, but I don't think it's overrated. Its sequel is definitely overrated because the sequel is bad. Skyrim, it just got re-released too many times. It was kind of stuck in the cultural zeitgeist for way too long, so it makes it feel like it's overrated. But it's as good as people say it is. The Witcher 3 is not. It just is not as good as people say it is. It's not bad. It just isn't as good. Like, you would think The Witcher 3 created modern gaming. It didn't. And GTA 5 doesn't really get as much praise as you would expect. Like, no one's like, oh my god, GTA 5 is a technical masterpiece or whatever. It's just GTA. Most overrated game part 2. Breath of the Wild, Spider-Man, PS4, God of War, Red Dead Redemption. Breath of the Wild, absolutely. It's Minecraft. Let's be honest. I'm not going to elaborate. One gaming studio has to go. Blizzard, Rockstar, Naughty Dog, Bethesda. Yeah, Blizzard, easily. I agree with everyone else. Where's the question? What game is this? 10 out of 10 storyline, characters, action, graphics, voice acting, music, and replay value. I don't know if I had a fucking... Did I comment? Yeah, no such game exists. Spider-Man with the Shadows. Yeah, I didn't comment. I didn't even have one. Which is funny. I'm asking the question. I didn't have an answer for it. I was just trying to see what people thought. Yeah, I legitimately did not have an answer for them. I mean, there are games I love a lot. But I don't think there's any game that's a perfect 10 out of 10. With all this shit going on. Best spin-off. So this is just games that are not mainline games in the series. It's definitely New Vegas, but I think Infamous First Light is the best Infamous game. Dishonored: Death of the Outsider was basically just more Dishonored. I don't think it did very much. And Metal Gear Solid: Vengeance was also really good. Who does too many remakes? Pokemon, Final Fantasy, Resident Evil, Call of Duty. I think it's Pokemon. I genuinely think it's insane that Pokemon gets away with it as much as they do. But yeah, it's Pokemon. 1000%. Pokemon is such a stagnant franchise. For them to get away with remakes is crazy to me. Underrated game studios. Ninja Theory, Obsidian, Focus Entertainment, Respawn. Of course, I think all of them are underrated, but I think Focus Entertainment is the most underrated. I don't think people realize how many good games they made. Which lie did I believe? Super Saiyan 100 or Katsuki Naruto? So I never believed Super Saiyan 100 was the thing. I think we all just kind of thought it'd be cool. But I had someone genuinely say that Akatsuki Naruto was real, and I believed it. He said that his brother was stationed in Japan in the military, and they already had like a lot of Naruto released, and Naruto joined the Akatsuki at some point. And like he just fucking lied. And I believed it. They're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. He's been persecuted his whole life. Why wouldn't he do that? So yeah, that was the one I believed personally. When do you typically watch a live stream? Oh, I was just trying to gauge like what would be better for my audience, for when I should live stream. Biggest Naruto retcon: Itachi's backstory or Minato's being Naruto's dad. Both of them are definitely retcons. If you don't believe me, rewatch or reread Naruto and compare how things are described surrounding both of these stories, and then also how they are described later in the series. It doesn't make sense either way. Both of these things are just very clearly things that they did not plan for in the beginning. So yeah, but I would say Itachi's backstory. He was definitely supposed to be a villain the whole time, and then all of a sudden he became a hero. Bullshit. How often do you rewatch YouTube videos? Often, sometimes, rarely, never. I often rewatch YouTube videos. If I liked it the first time, I rewatch it, because especially if it's really well made. So I rewatch YouTube videos a lot. This was a dumbass. Which game is GOW to you? God of War, Gears of War? A lot of times we abbreviate things. I was just curious when like people see the abbreviation GOW, do they think Gears of War of God of War? Overwhelmingly God of War, and I agree. I don't think Gears of War is that popular for it to like own that abbreviation. Which games AC to you? Assassin's Creed, Animal Crossing, Armored Core. I agree too. I think Assassin's Creed, because people often will say AC Unity, AC Revelations, AC Valhalla, and they know what you're talking about. I think since these are just their titles without anything after it, it doesn't get abbreviated as much. It's like 2077 sufficiently fixed, not even close, and I agree. That game's still a scam to this day. It's stuff for what you'd hope. Yes, I love it. No, it's disappointing. I'm somewhere in the middle. I do enjoy it, but there are a lot of pieces it needs to be like as excellent as they made it seem. So I guess I'd be closer to notes. I don't know. I'm definitely in the middle. Best original space game: Starfield, No Man's Sky, The Outer Worlds. I give it to The Outer Worlds. I think the narrative is a lot better and the gameplay is great. Everything about it is buttoned up and like really good. There's very little need for improvement in The Outer Worlds, whereas the other games, No Man's Sky had to be fixed, and Starfield still needs more to be perfect. Which game is worse at hero balance? Overwatch 2, easily. Overwatch is shit. Next question. Which retro gaming thing do you miss the most? Cheat codes, unlocks from playing older games, or unlockable characters? I personally think unlocks from playing older games is something for me. I never really liked using cheat codes, and I never really played games where unlocking a character was a big thing. But I constantly played sequels, which is funny because it ties into this. If you play Gears of War 1, you will unlock Min in Gears of War 2, because you just had save data from that game, which was cool, and I really enjoyed that. But I didn't play Gears of War 1, so I never unlocked Min, but I was perfectly fine with it, because I understood, like, okay, well, I didn't play the other game. But then I unlocked things in Gears of War 3 from playing Gears of War 1, or Gears of War 2. And I thought that was a great way to kind of give your fans something for being continued fans of your product. And I hate that they don't do that, because I keep my save data on my console and play the sequel of a lot of games, and I expect, like, oh, thanks for supporting us, here's a free costume, a free gadget, a free, you know, fucking game mechanic or whatever, I don't know. And they just don't acknowledge me anymore, and it hurts my feelings. Was less fun to do get a Ruka now and play Overwatch 2. For all dental procedures, I get anesthesia because I metabolize localized anesthesia too much. So like if I get a shot in my gums to numb it, it'll be out of my system in like 5 minutes. So I have to be put under and like kept under medically, so I'm not in pain. So getting a root canal isn't that bad to me because I'm basically asleep. Playing Overwatch 2, I have to be awake and playing Overwatch 2, so it's definitely worse. Which does Naruto overuse more, Shadow-Clone Jutsu or Rasengan? I would say he overuses them equally. This motherfucker needs to figure out how to do a different jutsu. Do PlayStation games receive unfair positive reviews? Yes, no. I don't think they receive unfair positive reviews. I don't think PlayStation gets that kind of bias, but I do think Xbox games receive unfair negative reviews. Like, I don't think when Spider-Man 2 comes out, they're like, oh, well, Sony, so we're giving them, you know, a good boost. But I think when fucking Starfield comes out, it's Microsoft, so, you know, it's them, it's Xbox. So I think I don't think they get bonuses. I just think they don't get negatively hit with their like own tax. They don't get the Xbox tax. But yeah, do Xbox games receive unfair negative reviews? I think they do, 1000%. It's just in a poll. Best pizza place. You guys disappointed me with this. Who the fuck thinks Domino's is good? Domino's is so bad, I want to commit domestic terrorism when I get it. That's insane to me that you guys like that. It's absolutely the worst one on the list. I'm disgusted. Papa John's is the best. Which is more iconic? The Get Over Here from Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, or the Hadouken from Ryu from Street Fighter? You guys are super wrong on this. It's absolutely the Hadouken. The Hadouken is referenced in damn near anything. Like, when people think of like a fighting game technique, how many different pieces of media go like Hadouken or something similar? Get Over Here is pretty iconic, but no, Hadouken is absolutely more iconic. Which game do I hate the most? Cyberpunk, yeah, I hate it. Biggest game of the year snub, so things that weren't nominated for game of the year. Wait, I think Final Fantasy was nominated for game of the year, wasn't it? Was it not? Now I don't remember. No, it wasn't. Hogwarts Legacy, Starfield, Final Fantasy 16, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. So, Star Wars Jedi Survivor was my game of the year before I actually went and played Baldur's Gate 3. Now I understand. Now I get it. Why everyone loves Baldur's Gate 3 so much. So, I still think Jedi Survivor was a huge snub. Because I think it still deserved to be nominated for it. But I agree, Baldur's Gate 3 is the game of the year. Yada yada yada. The last 10 years of Gertie, who shouldn't be here. Overwatch shouldn't be here. The Last of Us 2 shouldn't be here. Elden Ring shouldn't be here. This year should have been God of War Ragnarok. I don't remember who is in this year, but I know it shouldn't be The Last of Us Part 2. And Overwatch is Overwatch. Coolest Saiyan Dragon Ball move. So I got this wrong. I thought these were all Saiyan specific moves, but no, a bunch of people just do that shit. Kamehameha, Final Flash, Burning Attack, and Masenko. I'm biased. I think Burning Attack is cool as fuck. All of Trunks' moves are badass. So that's my favorite. Who would win? Comics base form, Black Panther, T'Challa, or Batman Bruce Wayne? Easily Black Panther. If you don't think so, you're out of your mind. Yeah, there's a comic book panel, and people are like, oh, prep time. There's a comic book panel that very clearly explains why Black Panther would be the winner, and it's him facing off against a villain, and the villain was like, I have trained my entire life to face you, and Black Panther's like, then you have already lost, for I have trained my entire life to face the unknown. Which means he's far more prepared because he's not constantly practicing for one specific scenario. He's practicing for all possible scenarios. And he's stronger, better in martial arts, has heightened levels of superhuman strength. Yeah, it's easily Black Panther. Base form, Thor, Odinson, Superman, Clark Kent, who would win? Depending on what weakness Superman has, depending on what writer it is, it's base form Thor. Because in some of Superman writing, his weakness is magic. So depending on who's writing the Superman, because base form Superman is sometimes has like a natural weakness for magic, but I don't think that's been the case for like 2 decades. So I think Superman does take it over Thor in this fight. But they're actually pretty evenly matched. If you know anything about the comics, Thor and Superman are a lot closer in terms of power level than a lot of people think, and I think it's because of the cinematic universes. People, Thor's been nerfed really hard in the cinematic universe. Who would win? Base form is Spider-Man, Peter Parker, Batman, Bruce Wayne. Easily Spider-Man. Again, it goes back to the fucking Black Panther theory. So these posts were all supposing that you just pluck them out of their universe, right? And then put them in a gladiatorial arena, basically, where they have to fight each other. Batman can beat very few people in that scenario because his whole bullshit is prep time. That's why it's a meme. Prep time. He needs to know what the threat is, assess the threat, and then come into the fight ready for that threat. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. That's a good thing for his character. But in actuality, you're not always going to have a chance to prep. If someone runs up on you and you have no clue what their abilities are, you're getting fucked. So if they drop Spider-Man, Peter Parker, and like, you guys have to beat your way the fuck out of here, he loses easily. Because, I mean, he's way stronger, way faster, way more durable, and smarter. Who would win? Frey Holland, Forspoken, Delson wrote Infamous. So, people with Delson, which I understand because Forspoken was lauded, but it's Frey Holland actually for me. Frey has a larger dearth of powers, a better control over her abilities, and her like power ceiling is a lot higher. She's basically her universe's version of a living god. So she's actually considerably stronger than Delson Rowe. So yeah, it has to be Frey Holland, but I understand why people picked Delson. I don't think people knew what Frey's shit was. And the last one, Iron Man versus Batman, easily same reason. The starkest, smarter. His suit is just way better. Plop him in a gladiatorial arena in his base suit. What the fuck is Batman gonna do against Stinger missiles? You know what I mean? What is this regular ass human in his basic ass suit gonna do against a repulsor beam to the fucking chest? Nothing. But yeah, those are all posts. That was pretty fun. So we'll cut it off there. I'll make sure for next year, if I'm still doing this by the end of 2024, we will start with all of the questions I asked. That was pretty fun. Thank you guys for watching. Please let me know if you guys do enjoy the polls and if it is a fun way for you guys to keep engaged when I'm not releasing content. Of course, I do enjoy putting them out. It's small shit, I know, but it's fun to see what you guys think. Thanks so much for watching. Behave yourselves.